Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, or wherever you are. Let me turn this music down. It's a bit loud. Welcome for watching. It's another Black Game Pro Sessions, the final one of the year. We've had 8 so far. This is going to be the 8th one. Thank you so much for the people that are returning. I appreciate it. We're really trying to build something from the ground up. Also, a big thank you for my new assistant producer, Dara, who should be here somewhere in this universe trying to learn from what we're doing. Yeah, really, it's been an interesting year. It's been an intense year, but enough of that. So once again, welcome back to Black Game Pro Sessions. Today's conversation is once again a special one because today we're sitting with someone who really helped write the blueprint many others are now following. Our guest did not just build community in gaming. She was one of the first to understand that gaming doesn't live in a vacuum. It lives in culture, in identity, in lifestyle. Jeyan Lopez is the founder of Black Gold Gamers, a platform that started long before diversity became a talking point and long before brands realized that gaming culture extends far beyond the screen. What makes her work different is this. She didn't just create visibility, she created translation. She helped move gaming into fashion, media, lifestyle, and real-world spaces while centering Black women in a way that the industry had never done before. She's built the space, she's protected it, and she showed what was possible when you stop asking for permission and start building infrastructure. Her impact is now recognized at the highest levels, from being an honorary professor to serving as the BAFTA Games judge. But the real legacy is this. Because of her work, the idea of who gaming is for expanded permanently. So Jeyan, this is about giving you your flowers while you're here to receive them. So welcome to Black Game Pro Sessions.
Oh,
hello.
That was so lovely.
It's true. I mean, you are one of the. I remember back in 2019 when I was talking to some of our internal teams about doing Black Game Pro's Mixer, and your name came up. It's like you were one of the persons that helped inspire, also what I'm trying to build back here with Black Game Pro Sessions. So thank you for that.
Oh, no, thank you. I'm glad that you've brought this back, and in a way that people can disseminate it across the world as well, which is really cool. But yeah, thank you for having me.
Of course. How have you been? How was your year? It's been interesting.
The year's been interesting. So it's been a transition. Again, this is the 10th year of Black Girl Gamers. I started in 2015, and it's just been a whirlwind of a ride ever since that year. Like typically, people don't know this, but typically I've always had a job whilst doing Black Girl Gamers, whether I was working in tech or pharma. And for the last couple of years, I've been kind of consulting and freelancing, which is a journey in and of itself, let alone running a business at the same time. It's been calmer than last year because of Gamergate. That was not a nice thing to experience. And it's been a transitional year. I will say that there's been a lot of transition, both personally and professionally, for me, that is bringing me to a new version of myself and bringing Black Girl Gamers to a new version of itself. Like I said, we have the upcoming website. We're bringing it back to our roots, where we had the media site back in 2016 and 2018. We were rolling out games and purveying our opinions on the gaming industry, where for the most part people ignore a lot of Black women's critical opinions or critique on the gaming industry. You don't really see that as much. So we're bringing it back, but not just for Black women. Anyone can write on our website as well. It's just matching up with our views of intersectionality, culture, and gaming. So there's been a lot of different ways of building. Given the layoffs and everything's kind of shifted. We had to react to the same shift as well, pulling back on a couple of things. I think everyone can relate to that. But no, it's been a great year for structure and just trying to make sure structure is continuously building in the way that we're reacting to these changes in the industry.
So in other words, you're just as tired as I am.
Yeah, I'm damn tired. I'm exhausted.
Oh my God.
10 years
Well,
of Black Girl Gamers is insane. Like I'm
yeah, but it's been one hell of a journey, and we're gonna dive into that in a
Mm,
minute. Before we do, I mean, I think our vocal cords have already been warmed up, but still, I want to like dive into this conversation by asking some rapid fire questions.
sure.
Yeah, you good? All right.
Yeah.
You've probably done these kind of interviews like hundreds of times, but I'm still gonna give it a try. So,
Mhm.
first question is, would you be Nintendo, Xbox, or PlayStation, or PC? You can also
I
pick
can't
multiple.
lie. Okay, my top two right now are PlayStation and PC.
Mm-hmm.
I am very much interested in Valve's new machine that they're coming out with. I'm very much interested in that because I've never been one to build a PC. I got mine made for me. I was like, I'm not that kind of gamer. PlayStation has come out with some beautiful experiences, specifically Ghost of Yotei right now that I'm taking my time savoring. I
Mm-hmm.
cannot. Those experiences are beautiful. I think for me, it's not necessarily about the console. It's where can I best experience the story. So, for instance, Xbox and Compulsion Games and South of Midnight was the only place I could experience that story, and that was a story that made my year. So, with all of that said, where the stories are is very important to me. But if I have to choose one, it most likely will be PlayStation.
Okay.
For now, I flip flop. I am not loyal. I'm not a loyalist.
It's the console that gives you the most joy. It's all good. It's fine.
At the
It's
moment,
okay.
yeah.
You're not being judged, or maybe you are. But I'm also a
Probably
PlayStation.
right? That's what I said.
Yeah. Who cares anyway? If that's what you want to play, that's what you want to play.
Yep.
So speaking of playing, if you have to give a top 3 of your favorite games of all time or franchises.
Okay. I very much enjoy the Witcher franchise.
Mm-hmm.
I like Mirror's Edge. I replay that every couple of years. Gosh, I have too many. Guild Wars 2 when it came out, again, one of my favorite games, but I haven't touched that in so long because I was waiting for a Guild Wars 3. I don't know if it's coming out. So one of my favorite games that if it was remastered I'd play in a heartbeat is Enter the Matrix.
Wow. Okay.
With Niobe and Ghost as the main characters. Yep. I think it was Atari that did that game. I think so.
I don't remember. It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's one of the games. If that came out, I'd replay it.
Okay. All right. Favorite movie of all time?
The Matrix.
Where were you when you watched the first Matrix?
In my front room or in my mom's bedroom. I don't remember going to the cinema to see it. No. I remember being on TV at the point because I was young. So I don't think they would allow me in the cinema at that point. But my mom's a sci-fi head. So therefore I'm a sci-fi head. So anything that is sci-fi, we would watch at home. Star Trek, Star Wars. Yeah. I think I was at home. Now you've just reminded me of the TV built on another TV on my mom's dressing table. The memories are coming back. That's crazy.
But these are the best memories, right? Watching it. I also remember watching Star Trek with my mom and with my older brother, and just geeking out and I want to have that. I want to be able to have a holodeck.
Yes,
that was the dream.
That was like when my granddad was alive, rest his soul. When we would be driving in the car, I pretend that the car is the Star Trek computer console and be like beep, 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 and he would play along, poor man. Before we left. But yeah, there's memories like that. Man.
Yeah, I always wanted to have the replicator. I want to be able to replicate food. I'm falling a pizza right now.
Yep.
Anyway. All right, I think enough of the quick questions. Let's go into the origin story of Black Girl Gamers. 15 years ago, 10 years ago, 2015. What was it in you that made you set this up and create this foundation that you created and have been active on for the last 10 years, 10 plus years?
Yeah. So initially, I've always been a gamer, and then during the time where Xbox Live started popping off, and then people started becoming like really racist and all that kind of stuff on, because they could hear your voice and they could hear your black, etc. I started playing by myself. So I played like games like Skyrim, just first-person games, so that I wouldn't have to interact with anyone online. And then I came to university and I saw two guys within my friend group at the time who were making a game channel. And so inspired by them and a little bit inspired by some of the ways that they would use African American vernacular English, and they weren't black, let alone black British, let alone black American, was a bit off-putting for me. So I created my own game channel because I was like, I want to do this. I want to make content. And also because I, at the time, had another platform that I'd co-founded with someone I know for hair. So I had experience in like making content and attracting an audience. So I started to do that for myself. And then I realized, like, where are the other black women in this space? I'd go to conventions like EGX and I wouldn't like see anyone or anything like that. So I used platforms like Twitter to meet other black women in gaming, and then I was creating the group Black Girl Gamers. And in fact, there was another woman who I was like, do you want to create with me? And she kind of took some time too long, basically. I can't remember, something happened in her life, which is understandable. So I just created it myself. And then over time it attracted more women, and you know, as the community grows, you grow. So we started just expanding, and word of mouth just kept expanding. And at that time, I also wanted to, I've always said this phrase, I don't want B2G to be just a safe space. I want it to be a progressive one. So talking about, you know, what is going on in the industry and the ostracization, because my mom very much raised me very pro-black. I've always been that way, very aware of black history, where it comes from, where I'm from, like Jamaica, UK, or from America, or from other islands, other places or nations. Like just knowing about revolutions and stuff like that has always made me, if you want something, you do it yourself. The people who are comfortable in their visibility are never gonna hear, do you want a piece of the pie? They're not going to do it. So over time, I just started speaking about, you know, it started off with characters, noticing that, you know, black characters were not either accurate or present. One of the two. If they were present, they weren't accurate, they were stereotypical, and if they weren't that, then they weren't even existing. And it was also not just from the games, but also from the gaming media, reading articles. I used to read PC Gamer Mag or PC Mag or PlayStation Mag and all these gaming magazines. Every time I would take me to W.H. Smith's in the UK, I would leave with a gaming magazine. So I was reading the media, not just for cheats, but reading the articles. And so all of that kind of informed my opinions and my takes and my on the industry. And you know, there were some very real gaps when it comes to characters, and some of them are quite obvious. And it doesn't take a genius to see it. It just takes someone who's looking outside of their own lens. And I don't think a lot of gaming devs at the time, or people designing characters at the time, were thinking about outside of their own lanes, or had the breadth to kind of do things accurately. So if we take Lucio at the time of his release, he's an Afro-Brazilian character. Every other character that is of another nationality has voice lines of their background. Lucio had an American accent, even though he's Afro-Brazilian. So no Portuguese, no Brazilian Portuguese. And also his English accent does not sound like he speaks Portuguese. So all of these things were just informing me. And then over time, you know, started doing speaking opportunities. And the very first speaking opportunities, I took those funds and put them into the business to help hire people part-time to like work on community or to work on the streams that we were doing, because part of our mission as well is to make streaming more diverse and have more black women on our Twitch channel. We did that for years. We had a Twitch team for years where someone would stream every day, increasing our black women showing their face, because there was a real fear about showing your face as a black woman streaming because of the racial what's the word, just the way people would react, the negative responses. So there was that piece. And then over time, it kind of expanded into consultation, where we consult with studios, with women who are in our company, in our community, such as game writers, TV writers, and people just of that specific cultural background, who may be able to give you more insight onto a character that you are not familiar with. And that's okay. I think the industry needs to understand that that's okay to not be familiar with the culture, and to get someone in to consult on that. I know Ubisoft does this all the time when it comes to history games. So it's expanded in a number of different ways. And the journey has been extremely galvanizing and validating, as well as tiring at the same time.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, I'm sorry to take you back a few notches, because you kind of like you ran through your entire
Right.
No, it's okay. It's good. You know, it's normal, because you lived this. You lived this for the last 10
I'm
years.
sure I've
So
missed
for,
out as well, but yeah.
no, yeah, of course. I mean, if I would have to like summarize my last 10 years at Ubisoft, it would probably be a similar kind of thing. But you know, it's what you probably, you probably don't, about it, but what other people might not know is that there's levels to this, because you started something from basically your bedroom. You started something, you started a community, and you managed to build that to a company where you have employees, where you have interns, where you have actual impact, where you get invited for all these things. What was the moment within this process that you realized this is more than just Jayanne doing her thing online, and this can turn into an actual business?
I think it was, if I think the very earliest point of that, I was going to say the pandemic and the first Black Girl Games Online Summit, but that's not true. The first time was when we did, I curated some panels at the V&A Museum in London, the Victoria and Albert Museum in London. And this was one of the very first kind of public events that we had done. And I remember specifically curating a panel of Black game professionals, but also a panel of just diverse professionals, because that was always my goal with Black Girl Games, obviously to advocate for Black people, obviously, but also to recognize that we exist in a wider ecosystem, and then that there are also others who have ideas and things to share, specifically about gaming or any factor or facet of gaming. So I remember Des Gale being on that. I can't remember her name, but there were just some great people on that panel, from content creators to game developers, studio heads, and I think just from all different walks of life. And I think that was really, really important. And that showed me that, one, I'm good at curating conversation, and that is a key factor in curating community, is curating the conversation in a way that is impactful, not redundant, and not cliche, which is, I know everyone's paneled out by this point, but I pride myself in being able to ask questions that bring things to light. And I think the other part was that an institution like the V&A was interested in our organization and allowed us to curate this at the time. And I think that showed me, okay, you can, I don't know, thinking about it as a business, but more so thinking of it, okay, there's wider impact to be had here. This is not just for London, this is for the world in a way. So
and how did you learn how to do that, to feel comfortable on stage, to host these panels, to ask these questions? Because that's not, I mean, unless you're like born with that. I mean, some people are, but I mean,
my mom,
how did that happen?
My mom, she was a radio presenter when I was growing up. So this is all intertwined. Growing up, my mom was a radio presenter at a local radio station, well, national but local, and she's a single mom. So going to the radio station, she'd bring me with her. On the people, there would be Doom. So I'm playing Doom, and this was one of my very early gaming experiences. I'm playing Doom whilst she's presenting on the radio. So I'm hearing here and I'm gaming here. So somehow in my brain, the two crossed over and allowed me to be able to talk about things, to present. I've also done like performing arts in my background. So like singing, dance, theater, that was part of my background during school and extracurricular activities, as well as also having that other platform, which was about natural hair simultaneously, in which I'm always talking to the camera about how to explain how to look after your hair. So all of these skills from performing arts, watching my mum present on TV and on radio, and then using content creation as well, all kind of molded itself into a skill set by which I just feel comfortable discussing things. And also the passion for games. I see games as a medium, the same way TV and film. So where you have, I'm trying to think of the right word, you know, you have cinephiles, so people who are really into cinema, they really dissect. That's how I look at games. But calling myself a gameophile sounds really wrong.
Yeah, that sounds terrible. Yeah,
it sounds like a terrible term.
Yeah,
I'm trying to find out what term would we use.
Playophile. That's also not. No, that's also not it. No.
No.
I'm sure there's some smarter people out there that can come up with
literally
great things for that.
Yeah, the right term. Gaming enthusiast doesn't quite hit it.
Yeah.
Gaming critic, not really. You know what I mean, though. That's what I'm trying. That's the only way I can express that I relate to games, and so yeah, that's the answer. Those things all factored into that.
Maybe like a game sommelier or something. I don't know. I don't know. Okay. So you were basically born with it. You were born with having a mom that took you with her to the radio station, and you were playing Doom, and that's cool. I didn't know that about you. That's dope.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a cool origin story, I guess.
Yeah, that is a cool origin story. But then, so that's one part of the skill set, being comfortable on a stage and being comfortable in front of the camera, but then also being a good interviewer or a good panel host that can ask the right question. How did you learn that? Was same thing with your mom, hearing her do interviews?
Same thing with my mom, but I can't stand small talk. Just as a person, I don't like redundant, like you and I would tell you what's going on in my life. You know what I mean? There's certain things obviously everyone keeps to themselves, but I don't. Superficial connection does nothing for me. I'm an empath, so I enjoy real, genuine connection. So when I'm doing a panel or I am attending panels, I can't stand surface level questions. I don't mind them at the beginning to break the ice and to open things up, but if I leave a panel without learning something critical or new or different, and I've heard this elsewhere, I think that panel is a failure. And this is including my own panels that I put on. So I always encourage people when they're on my panels to understand that especially when we're doing stuff for Black Girl Gamers, don't do platitudes. I don't want to hear really happy anecdotes. How did you do this? How did you get from A to B? What were the steps? Was it luck? If it was luck, say so. Like that kind of. I really value genuine conversation as opposed to that. So that it's a pet peeve of mine. That's why. So I try and avoid doing that in myself, my own work.
Okay. I mean, but it's so easy sometimes to fall back. I mean, I do a lot of these panel things as well. It's so easy to fall back into like the standard kind of questions.
Yeah. It is.
And it's also depending on who you're interviewing, because some people just don't respond well to these like normal questions. They respond like in one word, and then you're like, oh god.
Yeah. It is not. You're not always gonna get it right, and that's
no.
So accepting that person might not be warm, so maybe lean into it. Okay, you see, are you tired? Like, how are you doing? Are you tired today? How's the run been? And then maybe they'll talk about what's making them less responsive to you. I just, like if we're doing a press junket for a movie or something, which Black Girl Games also does. The stars have been there all day. They're tired. So even it starts before the camera and just like, how are you feeling? How is your spirit reading?
Yeah, and look them in the eyes and have an actual conversation instead of just I know which. Oh man, I remember the first interview that I did with like a celebrity was with Ice-T.
Yeah, I saw the face. Yeah,
and I was so green, and I asked him like the standard questions, and he basically completely roasted me for half an hour, which was a wonderful video to see, but it taught me so much. Yeah, it hurt a little bit. Afterwards, I had a little tear
I don't blame you.
yeah, that was good. No, but something you have to learn through these things, and it also learned me to just be myself. Be open and just be genuinely interested in the person.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, let's bring it back to Black Girl Gamers. It's what I really what I appreciate from the community that you've built, that it seems that you've designed very clear boundaries within the community, very intentionally.
Yes.
So what did you learn about leadership from saying no? Because that's a skill.
Good. I've never had that question before, and that is a difficult one for me, because like I said before, I'm an empath. So
exactly,
part of this, like building a community.
Please teach me.
Building a community can be difficult because you're open to everyone's emotions and everyone's personal stories and why this and why that. Mm-hmm. And I can't lie, it's taken me a long time to learn how to say no to people, and that's genuinely one of my flaws. And putting other people above myself and my own personal, well-being. Over the years with Black Girl Gamers, though, like the whole point was to not allow the community to take down the community. And I say this about every community group, not even just Black people, just like, unless you have clear boundaries, you allow in people who will just tear things down, regardless. That's just how they might not even know they're doing it intentionally. It's just how they are raised or different experiences. So with Black Girl Gamers, over the years, our rules have changed to become changed over as societies become different as well, so inclusive for everyone as well. That's something that we had to learn from the beginning, to open up to everyone and make sure also inclusive of non-binary people, and making sure everyone feels comfortable in the language that we're using. We had to also involve. That's really important. You can't have a community that isn't evolving. That is something that you need to always have, and I think that's true of the gaming community right now. Like, as we've seen with recent events, having a gaming community that doesn't evolve, it just creates this real big tension in the space where gamers and developers want to create new stories, but the other audience does not want them to do so because they're stuck in this time. Evolution
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Evolution needs to happen. So as a leader, as a community, it's also about learning. Like, I've by my own community in the Discord, like, Jay, the way you type this in this way, this might be offensive to somebody. I'm sorry. Hands up. I apologize. Yeah. How is best to word this? That was not my intention. Then we can move forward and abiding by my own rules, which is, again, is what I talked to you about before, is doesn't allow you to necessarily be human all the time, but it shows how the members should show up in the community. And I tell you, for the last 3 to 4 years, I don't think we've had a major issue with anyone in our community. Everyone comes in, and we also changed the way we do things. We do orientations to make people see someone face to face. Everything's different. And like I said, that evolution had to happen for me to develop as a leader, to understand that some things need to be said and some things are just action. And you corral people into spaces and into certain conduct, as opposed to being, you can't do this. This is how we foster a great environment for you and for others. It's different ways of approaching it.
So how do you then personally know when your community is healthy, even when it's not loud, when it's just indeed, you don't see them every day. You might connect with them on Discord or whatever. Still, you're just your community is quite big.
Yeah, I think it's the chatter. It's the way so for instance, it's the way that I can see people who have just come through an orientation now integrating into a different specific part of the Discord, or they're creating their own spaces to have D&D meetups, and I'm not facilitating that. They've done that themselves. When the community starts to group up themselves and starts to find each other according to their interests, that's when you've created a healthy community, because they're creating their own sub-communities within your community without having to be prompted, without having to be told. They're seeking genuine connection, and they're actioning that genuine connection. And there's no hiccups, there's nothing. Everyone knows how to talk to each other. Everyone knows not to be disrespectful. Everyone knows they can also have banter and have jokes as well. So it's when I see those offshoots happening, I know that the community is healthy. And We also do surveys, like all of that is very important. We're running our end of year surveys today, which reminds me I need to put that out. But but yeah, the end of, like, we run surveys to understand what the community wants. We genuinely, where like publishers and studios often look at vanity numbers to work with influencers and stuff, when you're working with community, we're giving you, okay, these are our top games in our community, this is why we want to work with you, this is how many people subscribe to our newsletter, and of course we've got our prominent social media measurements and stuff as well. But we're not necessarily telling you just that, because our community is healthy and they engage with things that they trust us to show them. So it's multifaceted, but having a healthy community is just via the offshoots that happen, but also the way that the members also self-correct. Members will be like, you know
exactly.
what, that was, I didn't mean to do that, my apologies. And they will just, you know, understand that this is the space and they value the space. And also over the time, other Black gaming groups that kind of started off on a Facebook and stuff, they've been overrun by people who are trying to, again, take the community down or take the space down, or make it very negative, homophobic, transphobic, that kind of stuff. We don't tolerate none of that. We're very specific about all of that. You do this, you're gone. And it means that we may not be the hugest group in the world, but it means we have the highest quality of people.
Quality over quantity, right?
Right. So yeah.
It's super impressive how you managed to build that. I mean, I have to say, I mean, that's
it's myself, but it's also other people who get the vision.
Of course.
Been on,
of course.
Me, you know. Like,
but it must make you proud that you're like, you know, you're you're the spark that created this. Created this safe space for people to be themselves and geek out on games or whatever stuff.
I do forget sometimes.
Yeah, don't. I mean, you should be proud, really. It's like,
I should be.
You know, because on top of the maybe in your own words, not that huge community, you're also a public figure that you know that is the face of a community, which comes with probably a lot of pressure. And
it does.
How do you manage that? Because that seems like a lot, and because a lot of people that probably follow you, they see you online, they see you posting, they see all your wonderful hairdos that you create, and they see that part of the life. They see you as the co-founder of Black Go Gamers. They see you they see you with celebrity XYZ. But the pressure must be enormous.
It is. It's exhausting.
How do you deal with that?
How do I do? I don't know, if I'm being honest with you. I think I take it bit by bit. I think when the pressure gets too much, I take time away. Like, I will take a day off, and I also remind myself that not everything has to be shared. Not everything about my life, my personal life, my private business needs to be shared at all. I think it's curating what you share with the world is very important when you have some kind of pressure. I'm not a celebrity or whatever, but when you have some kind of reputation or pressure, curating what you share about your life is extremely important. I'm extremely private about my life, and I intend to continue that way, because I've seen that throughout the time of working with Black Girl Gamers, you can have people who look like you that are rooting for you. You can have people who are not looking like you, who are rooting from you, and then you can have the vice versa. People who look like you, who are not rooting for you, and they'll smile in your face and they'll do other things. And I very much, that pressure to uphold, everything can be a lot. But I think what helps is that Black Girl Gamers is born from my essence. It's born from my point of view of like, community can change things, and so it's to be protected. And even if from my own selfish whims, maybe I want to go and cuss someone out and tell them to FYI and all this stuff because they're annoying me. But the bigger picture right then and there is to protect BGG at that moment, and not to let myself let other people down.
Oh, okay, but I mean, you just also earlier said you're an empath. I mean, and you take on that's a lot. I mean,
it's a lot, and this is why I don't think I have a method. I don't, and it's not healthy. I don't think it's healthy.
No, I mean, I don't want to tell you what's healthy or not, but it doesn't sound super healthy. I mean,
no, it doesn't. It doesn't sound super healthy.
You need to have I don't know. You need to have a ways to release that pressure, because otherwise,
Yeah. So I think what I've been doing recently is delving outside of gaming, finding things outside of gaming to just be just Jayan. Not Jayan of BGG, not Jayan BAFTA judge, not Jayan Honorary Professor, just Jayan. And that has been a beautiful thing. I think
any examples of how you chill?
How I chill. Even this morning, just listening to music in the morning with my partner in the morning, it's just relaxing. Like drone music is beautiful, and that has been a wonderful thing. Reading fiction, again, I love storytelling. I've dabbled in some other things as well that I can't share right now, but that allowed me to just show up as Jayan, because it was testing another part of me that I haven't practiced in years. It's to do with performing arts, so I haven't practiced that in years. And so there's no BGG, there's no games, there's no gaming history and critique and theory and race. There's none of that. It's just Jayan and her skill. Can she show up at this time where she's feeling the most vulnerable, the most unprepared in this way? And that has allowed me to really be in touch with me beyond all of this title and accolade and what I'm building. And I think it's really, really important to do so. So I'm working on it. I think I don't have it down yet, but I'm working on it.
I mean, that's all you can do, right? Working on it. I mean, nobody's perfect, and you need to have stuff to work on, I think.
Yeah. Everybody does. Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So once again, going back to Black Gold Gamers, if you look at what part of your younger self do you feel that you're still protecting through the work that you're doing with Black Gold Gamers, or in general?
I think the younger self that views possibility. So like when I was young and I was reading those gaming magazines, I wanted to be involved in some way, and at the time I couldn't, and I wanted to write. I remember one of my first writing gigs in gaming was for Gaming Business Mag. I can't remember what it was called, but Chella Ramanan recommended that I do.
Yes.
Love Chella. And then, the part of, I think with BGG, a lot of the things that we do is building confidence for Black women. Because if you can imagine like an industry that doesn't acknowledge you, an industry that ignores you up until most recently as a playable character, or even being possible in someone's imagination, can really make you feel like an imposter. So when it comes to BGG and some of the workshops that we do, some of them aren't even gaming related, but it's just about showing up and shooting your shot. BGGs who have been in the community for years would have heard me say this: shoot your shot. Even to things that I'm saying, we're looking for a BGG to work on, that's with this branding work. Oh, you don't have this, just shoot your shot anyway. I will take a look at your stuff, and it's encouraging that confidence where it hasn't been nurtured in the past. And I think gaming for the most part is that medium by which we do that. But yeah, it's that part of possibility that I'm, from my younger self, I'm showing that shoot your shot, Jan, continue shooting your shot. Doesn't matter if the magazines won't take you, create something, show them your worth. One of my phrases from the very beginning of Black Girl Gamers, and Stephanie, who you met recently, would know this phrase: they'll learn. They don't know now, they're gonna learn. And that's been my phrase for a lot of things, about how, brands passing us up and then later on circling the block to come work with us. It's been a very interesting journey. So yeah, possibilities what I've been protecting.
Okay, but what of the part of the progress that you created can you create progress? What are that you created in the last 10 years? What feels real to you of that? Like some real impact that you've had?
I think
versus performative, because there's also a lot of performative in there.
Yeah, I think the real impact I've had is like people getting jobs. I love that, and people get jobs from events that we do, or make connections in the industry with events that we do. That's the first one. The other thing is seeing people's confidence grow. I like our previous social media manager, Victoria. she's a star. I love her so much, and just seeing her
She's
grasp.
great. I've met her. Yeah, she's cool.
Yeah, just seeing her grasp the bull with two horns. So, for instance, she'd never done premiere media line interviews before, and I grilled her. I prepped. I was like, "You cannot show this unprepared." I gave her a document of names and faces, and I said, "Research. This is who we need to know when they come along the media line. You need to know to make us stand out from any other media platform. You need to know who they are, what projects they've done, what alliance. I've come up with some questions." So we worked on it together, and she showed up, and she's got such a vivacious personality that people are going to get along with her anyway. But in order to, you can't just show up with that person. You have to come up research, and that was her first time doing that. And she showed the same tenacity that I had when I first did it, and I think that passing that on to me is a huge impact. So people taking that inspiration wherever they go. The other thing is like getting people's names, as I mentioned, through our consulting arm, getting people's names in the credits for video games, that would otherwise not have an in. Because getting in the industry can be quite tough for people, especially if you're later on in life and you don't know how to navigate those things. So where someone has a cultural expertise, because it is cultural expertise when you're talking about game characters from a certain region, or they have TV expertise or writing expertise, qualifying that and allowing them to consult on a project and then get their name in a game credit, for me is impact, because that name would not be there if it wasn't for BGG or myself curating this group together. So just a number of different things. Gamer Girls Night In, the first woman, by women, for women and non-binary people gaming event that brought together different elements of lifestyle, beauty, gaming, and fashion together to have a sold-out event twice, and to have brands sponsoring it. Ubisoft sponsored it. That was
that's one of the things that I love about what you do, is how you bring these different elements of gaming and lifestyle and fashion and music and movies all together, and it all makes sense when you see it on screen. It might not make sense to a lot of people watching this on paper, but when you see it all come together in your platforms, like, yes, of course this needs to happen. Of course there needs to be these collaborations and partnerships. So yeah, I wanted to give you I'm going to give you props for that, because it's super dope to see that.
I think, I think I credit the fact that I didn't have the orthodox entry into the gaming industry for that, because when you're locked down into industry, sometimes you just have your blinders on about how things are done. Whereas when you come from maybe the outside, you can see the crossover, you can see the intersections. There's a reason why people on Fortnite have different, who work on Fortnite and licensing side, have a variety of different backgrounds, because they can see these crossovers where maybe a typical or orthodox dev may not see. They may do, but so yeah, I like that too. I think there's so much intersection with games, and Hollywood's picking up on that recently a lot.
Finally.
Finally.
Oh my God.
Doing it better than previously before.
Yes. Still a lot of work to be done, in my opinion, but finally it seems that the way that they approach it seems to be more genuine. At least maybe that's how I don't know.
It is. I credit, if you haven't reached out, I'll say this offline, but Dimitri of Story Kitchen, they help kind of translate these gaming IP to TV and film. Brilliant.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Okay. So I will shoot you a message.
Yeah, we'd love to. Yeah, I always want to connect to cool people. Well, I love that. So you've now ran Black Girl Gamers for the last 10 years. What is the next 10 years of BGG and your life going to look like? What's the plan? Where are you taking this?
I think BGG I think what we want to do is educate the industry to understand what community is. I think the industry looks at community as just somewhere they can throw game keys, or they can do a one-off thing. If a community is done right, you should be consulting with the community on your upcoming games. If a community is done right, you should be consulting on a community about your marketing strategy and how to connect with gamers, and on a kind of a longer scale, with some longevity. If a community is done right, you should be looking at community when it comes to your media and how you disseminate some of your information. The community should be a long-term partner of publishers and studios in general. And I think they miss a trick by not doing that. So in the next 10 years, I want to create that more of a relationship between community and publishers. And the other thing is, becoming a really great media arm, and bringing back our voices to the industry to kind of contradict some of the things that have been happening, if I'm being honest with you, to kind of give a new perspective on what inclusivity means, and not the rhetoric that's been put out about it, but also just giving the perspective of games from different perspectives. Play or Pass is one of our own little individual shows that we have, our original shows, where we put members head to head on gaming trivia. I would love to continue expanding that. And then for me, I just want to consult, and like I said, I want to delve deeper into narrative design and narrative. I enjoy that world so much, so continue consulting on that, and building with brands that want to curate community. These are the things I'm good at, so that's what the next 10 years looks like.
That seems busy. That's good.
Yeah,
but also daunting. Probably also daunting. You're like,
it is daunting, but I'm never still. I definitely just always need to be doing something. I do want to take a couple of holidays, so that's
you should. You please, because take care of yourself. We need people like you to lead the way and be like the North Star. Even though I know you don't always want to be that, because it puts a lot of pressure, but still, it's the role that you kind of play, or that you
I know. Listen, I set myself up. It's done now.
It's like you're that person now. So but take care of yourself as well, even though you're super busy, because
100%. All
right, cool. We have a question from the audience, from an audience member, India. Who I know very well. India's cool, super cool, very talented person. I think you guys need to talk. Actually, she might be a cool person to work with. Awesome. Because she also has a question: what advice do you have for Black women trying to get into the industry without industry experience during this specific time?
I would say, what area do you want to work in first? I think that depends, because if you're working in a field that is kind of has transferable skills, like marketing or writing, also has transferable skills. You can write for TV and also write for games. I would start to do what I'm doing, is reading more about it, first of all, number one. I would say to attend conferences, to network. So conferences like a GDC, develop in Brighton, depending where you are.
She's in the US.
Okay, so GDC. There's, I think, DICE. There's a bunch of different GamesBeat events that happen, that you can just network with other people and kind of curate your ecosystem that way, and ask people for advice. That's number one. Number two, join discords that are for professionals. So I know Amir Satvat has a great discord for people looking for roles in the industry, and there are also like other groups such as mine, but also others that post job opportunities all the time and do workshops and give you tasters of different roles. We have our event called Link and Level Up, which we just had last weekend, which is an event that gives you different tasters of different disciplines in the gaming industry, and we curate this event to allow you to network as well. So I would say to attend that. It's very affordable. We keep it accessible because it's also for people all across different times in their lives. If you want to, if you're just getting into the industry as a graduate, or you're just looking for a pivot. So the one that we did recently was on game production, journalism, legal and law, and I think I've missed one. I've definitely missed one, but we had just different areas in which you can ask questions and get advice, and they were giving out resources like classes. I actually have some of them typed down here. I might be able to show you in a second.
But how do you stand out? I mean, that's more of because
how do you stand out? I think that I would point to my ecosystem to help you stand out. If your ecosystem knows who you are and what you're doing, and you have a foster good relationship, I don't think there's necessarily need for you to stand out, because you should have an ecosystem that's willing to help you, and vice versa. So if you need to stand out in terms of CV, I would say get classes, get courses, or those are the ways I would say for that. But if you are just trying to get more experience, I would say your ecosystem will help you do that. I don't think you need to stand out in that way at that point in time at an entry level. The CV thing, I think going to maybe game jams and kind of exploring in different ways as well. I would lean on talent attraction people to answer this question a bit more succinctly than I am, to be honest with you. But that's just my top line.
Well, I see that Hip Hop Gamer is in the chat as well. I'm not gonna do his voice, but he's hype as per usual. And he had the question: is relationship capital stronger than money in your Black Girl Gamer business model?
Yes, it is. Because as we've seen with the industry over the last 2 to 3 years, capital can disappear. People can lose roles, people can switch jobs, but those relationships when someone's switching job can still be intact for when they do land somewhere else. And or you help them find that job. You can be like, here, I found this role for you to find your next step. Sorry about being laid off. That happened a lot. I was just going back and forth with a couple of people who I'd known who'd been laid off, and I was just sending them roles because, one, I don't want to see you be negatively affected by this, but 2, I want to see you get on your feet, and then 3, this is a relationship. We should be supporting each other, so that is important in terms of capital.
Amen. Yeah, I think the Floyd also agrees with that, and he also brought up the question because he answered the same one at the Comic-Con in the panel with Kate. The way that you stand up and stand out is actually just doing it, having a plan, starting a strategy, and seeing it to success. And even if it leads to failure, having a backup for it shows you strive under pressure. And I couldn't agree with that more.
I will also say knowledge makes you stand out.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, yeah, India, this is something I would say to you. Understanding the industry. I did a talk recently two talks this year during March, Women's International Month. I can only say one name. I can't remember which name it is. I'm not going to say any of them. But when I gave my talk about gaming history, I'll tell you that people working for that company did not know the history of why the gaming industry and the gaming consumer behaves in the way that they do. I've even done a video on it recently on TikTok, which explains just how marketing and how the economic climate at the time formed how games were marketed to young men, and how it shifted from families to men, and how that impacted not just gaming media but the stories that were told and all of this. Understanding that gives you an up in the world, because you can then start to read patterns and know how to stand out from those patterns when it comes to marketing games or connecting to communities or creating media. These are the things that I would say, if you don't know the history of gaming, you should read up on it. There are several books that I have behind me I would recommend from specifically Black academics in gaming.
Shout them out. Which books?
So this is a game book that I'm in, but so we've got we've got TL Taylor. This is all about Twitch and live streaming. It's a bit old. I don't know if there's a new edition, but this is something that I would recommend if you're into like Twitch and that side of thing. Feminism in Play by Kashona Gray. She's one of my favorites. Also Woke Gaming, Kashona Gray. Gaming Representation. This is Kashona, and this is also by Triandria Russworm. Those two are Black academics. This is Gaming Representation. Intersectional Tech by Kashona Gray.
I've seen that one. Yep.
And then this one is by This is by Jordan Miner, and this is just a year-by-year guide of the best and boldest video games since 1977. So it helps you get a history. There's nothing about intersectionality, race, or anything. It's just purely about.
No, but it's super cool.
Right,
Nice.
And it's really pretty too. You know, it's like,
yeah, it is. Well, thanks for that. I appreciate that. Also, a question from Shamara. If you could repeat the Discord that you mentioned, your Black Girl Gamer Discord, I assume, because she's interested in joining.
Yeah. So, sorry, 1 second.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, multitasking. Sorry.
That's all right. So, the Discord that I was mentioning is well, I mentioned two. There's Black Girl Gamers, and you just verify via the website. We are switching over website this week, so I would say to hold off a couple of days before you apply, just so that we can switch over our hosting. And then the other Discord that I mentioned was Amir Satbat's Discord, because he was really instrumental during the time of layoffs. Well, it still is during the time of layoffs during the industry, and it was helping people find jobs. There were loads of Excel sheets and stuff that you could find roles, and people helping each other to settle. So that was the other Discord as well.
Okay, all right. I think you have a lot of other people that are interested in joining Discord. I see Tanisha, that's a LinkedIn user here, and a thank you from India. Oh, that's nice. That's
You're
very
welcome.
nice. Post a link in the chat. Yeah, we can do that. We can do that. Yeah. We can post a link in the chat. Don't worry about that. It's so many things going on. Many chats going on. All right. I think we're almost now. We have 5 minutes left. So I want to talk about legacy. You already discussed it in the next 10 years, but especially with founders, we're always building something that we understand and makes a lot of sense to us, but that other people might not understand yet. What do you think that you are building right now that people might not understand, but might understand later?
That's a really good question. I think people will understand it. I think it depends on who you are. Obviously, like I said, the media on games, not just from a monolithic perspective that gaming media typically comes from, but also just gaming experiences for consumers that are different. Gamer Girls Night In, again, those who went get it, and those who haven't been will get it, and that's why I say that. And I can see the expansion of that literally in front of my face, and how huge it can be, and how it can shift the industry to realizing that women also want to be catered to in this way. I go to the EGXs, I go to the PAXs, I go to all these different conferences, and they're often made by a male lens, and I'm like, okay, how do we do this but from a lens that I can relate to? And obviously people can still come, but it's just a different way of hosting this experience, and I'm super excited to bring that about. I just know it's going to be a lot of work, but
sometimes good things take work, and it's okay.
Yeah. Tired.
Yeah, but that's why you take some time for yourself, reload that battery, and then whenever you're ready, come back and do some further amazing things.
Yeah.
And you have a community that can work for you, in your absence.
Yeah, definitely. At some point, yeah. I think
at some point. Oh my God, it's okay. You can. I mean, it's 10 years. 10 years. It's a long time. I can tell you that, because I think you started Black Girl Gamers the same year that I started producing E3 for Ubisoft. So I know it's been an interesting 10 years. And last year must have been. We didn't even get into last year. I mean, last year for you must have been.
It was awful. It was an awful experience. I think the industry needs to really take a look at what they allow to happen. And things can happen and you can't control it, but I think what you say is extremely important when those moments happen, and the industry did not acknowledge it. And I know for a fact that some big wigs in the industry knew about it, because I know certain people who told them. And
I think, I can't speak for anybody, of course. I'll just speak for myself. Not really. So, but I think there's people are afraid that they're saying that they will say the wrong thing, so they'd rather not say anything, which I think is it's understandable, but
learn then.
Yeah, exactly.
Learn, at some point you can't ignore something like that happen. People are getting doxxed, death threats. I went to the police station. That's not cool to be happening in this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, that could be a whole episode in and of itself. It was definitely also a sign of the times. and you can't really push against the times, but you can speak out against the times. And I think that's where a lot of the industry was remiss. You know, there were places like Take This? Can't remember. But that spoke out, and other places that definitely spoke about it. IGDDA spoke about it as well. I think, you know, it's very telling about where the industry really places its value.
Yes, I think, you know, it makes it super clear. You know, it's in the end, it's, you know, it's corporate world. In the end, it's all about bottom line, and it's understandable. But once again, that's an entire other hour or 2 hour conversation.
It is.
Oh God, I'm not gonna get into that right now. Let me not do that.
No.
Final questions for you. Exactly. So if someone is watching this today and feels like they are outside of the industry, what is the one thing that you want them to take away from your journey?
Your passion for the industry should drive you, and to not be so prescriptive. If I was really prescriptive about my journey, I don't think I'd be where I am. I always said bigger and better. So when you asked me about, you know, next 10 years, I was really tempted to be bigger and better. But I'm also trying to form what I want in my head. So I know what bigger and better manifests, what lane it manifests in. But I've always said bigger and better, and that has always come true. But I always tell people this. Sometimes you don't get what you want because you're looking at it in a certain form. It has to show up this way for you to recognize that it's the next step. When sometimes the next step looks like a horizontal one that then takes you up an incline. So if you're so focused on to get into the industry and to be working in the industry, I need to look like this, I need to look like this, or this needs to happen, you may be missing out on opportunities or threads or through lines into the industry that just because they're not presenting themselves, those opportunities are not presenting themselves to you in the way that you think they should look, you're missing out. So I would say be open. I think that's the main thing, is to be open to the variety of different things. I was talking to Matt Mercer recently. He's part of Critical Role, and they worked on the recent Dispatch game. And he's such a multi-potentialite. He does so many different things. And I said to him, you are an inspiration to me, because I don't want to be in a box. I enjoy so many different things about this industry. I would love to voice act. I would love to design narrative. I would love to consult. And I'm doing some of these things already. And that is because I'm open to how things just show up in life. So I would say that just for someone's advice, to not put too much pressure on how things are supposed to look, and take the opportunities you find, because they will always add to you. You either learn something you don't want, or you learn something you do want.
That's true. I mean, but it's another question, I know, but the whole bigger and better kind of approach that you have, I mean, that comes with a cost.
It does. It does come with a cost. It definitely does. You have to be willing for that cost.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And you don't and not everyone has to be, you know, there's different types of people in life, and you know, I just say bigger and better because that's what I want. But there'll be probably a time where I'll be like, I just want calm. I just want peace. And then
you transition into that phase of your life, which could be a month, could be 6 months, could be indefinitely, maybe some.
Exactly.
I'm just chill for the rest of my life, lay on a beach and drink pina coladas.
Yes.
That would be great. Yes.
Awesome.
All right, I'm gonna let you go a little bit, or are already over time a little bit. So I really want to thank you, not just for Black Gold Gamers and what you build there, but for creating the ripple effect, for showing an entire generation that gaming could be part of their lifestyle, their identity, their culture, without any compromise.
Yes.
You were early, you were consistent, and you were right. Because a lot of people are walking past today that exists because you already cleared that ground first.
Thank you.
That is legacy work. So once again, thank you for trusting us with your story, and thank you for building something that really outlives trends. You're appreciated.
Thank you.
And for everybody watching, thank you for joining. Thank you for all your questions. It's much appreciated. Jayan, if you could put the links to the Discord in the chats I think people can join if they want. And yeah, for people watching, once again, thank you for watching. It was the final episode of the year. We will be back early January with amazing guests. We have Gordon Bellamy, we have Brian from Activision, we got Tiffany from Riot, we got Ryan from Community, and other cool people coming up, like Angela Roseborough, and so on and so forth. Oh yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Fantastic.
Yeah. But once again, Jan, thank you so much for your time. I know you're super busy, so I'm gonna let you go.
Thank you,
everybody. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.